a teacher by the throat and start yelling at them. But that is not the way to solve a problem. Stay calm and think about how your child is feeling. They probably did not want to come to you in the first place and tell you about the bullying, because in their minds, they believe that if they say or do something, or you say or do something about the bullying, it might actually get worse. And sometimes they're right in their fears. But if your complaint process is handled right, more often than not, the bullying will stop. So, from a legal perspective, what should you do if your child's being bullied? Get the story of the bullying as correct as possible from your child. Listen to what your child has to say. And let your child know they have done the right thing by coming to you and talking to you, and that you will find a way to help solve the problem. Get your child's ideas on what they think is the best action to take. As for the child's cooperation, there needs to be maybe minor changes on their part. For example, a few changes maybe in their behavior or dress or social skills or something. And then think about how you will approach the school. If the school doesn't have any knowledge of your child being bullied, then it's fair to give the school a reasonable amount of time to work out the problems. And I have worked with the Montezville School District on a number of bullying cases, and I do want to assure you that the school district does take this bullying accusations very seriously. Now, if your child is the subject of bullying, document everything. Think of yourself as being a lawyer. Put everything in writing. Take record statements. Type them up and have the witnesses sign the statements. Take pictures of any injuries, of the places where it's occurring, of any people that may have witnessed it or were involved in it. Enough cannot be said about documentation. Getting the dates, times, locations, names of any witnesses or parties involved, not only of the bullying incidents, but also of anyone you've talked to that may be aware of it. With the advent of the internet, we now have a new method of bullying, cyberbullying or online bullying. If your child is being bullied, either online or through written notes or phone calls or in person, again, document everything. The bullying is online, save all the emails and the INs. Because what we're going to do is ask you to send them to us so we can have a record of them. If it's a written note type bullying, save them. Don't throw them out. All those things come in as evidence. If it's over the phone, take a picture of the caller ID number. And if the bully is dumb enough to leave the message on the answering machine, save it. Now, if you know who the bully is, you should send a certified letter to that bully's parents, informing them of what's going on. They may not know that their child is actually bullying another child. But you want to send that certified, so that they have written notice of what's going on. The parents of the juveniles who are doing the bullying may be liable to the emotional damage caused by their child to your child. And if the cyberbully's parents know what's going on, either by you telling them or over the phone or they receive the certified letter, they now have knowledge and notice that this is actually occurring. And you can tell them in that letter that you will seek damages if the bullying continues. Now, some bullying must require immediate and swift action. It's not the job of the school administrators or the teachers to act as police officers when a serious bullying incident occurs. Now, if the bullying does not stop after you've made attempts to solve the problem either by contacting the parents or through the school, or there's a physical assault involved, you need to call us. Now, depending on the circumstances, we usually do one of two things. We may contact the parents of the bully and put them on notice that if the bullying continues, there will be an arrest. Or, if the situation has involved, say, a major assault, we will file charges to the juvenile authorities. Now, most cases of bullying, as Mr. Yakubaki mentioned, fall under harassment. Now, under the Crime Code, harassment is defined as a person commits the crime of harassment when, with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm another, the person, 1, strikes, shoves, kicks, or otherwise subjects the other person to physical contact or attempts or threatens to do the same. 2, follows the other person in or about a public place or places. 3, engages in a course of conduct or repeatedly, and that was mentioned before about repeatedly, commits acts which serve no legitimate purpose. And 4, communicates to or about such other person any lewd, lascivious, threatening, or obscene words, language, drawings, or caricatures. Depending upon what happens, the charge would either be a summary offense or a misdemeanor offense. And if there's major physical contact, then that offense could be elevated to simple or even possibly aggravated assault. Now, the goal, of course, is to stop bullying before it begins. But in the event it does start, we need to be aggressive in getting it stopped. Our children deserve to be safe and feel safe in our schools and in our streets. Imagine a community in which students who witness bullying are encouraged to intervene. And we've started that. Mr. Yakubaki mentioned that. More than 55% of bullying behavior stop in less than 10 seconds when a peer steps in. That's why it's important that schools and parents stress to children that by befriending a kid who is bullied, or by asking an adult for help, they can change, and what's even more importantly, even save lives. Imagine a community where students know that it's not their fault if they are bullied. They can feel free to talk about it and can expect to be helped. Imagine a community united against bullying where parents listen to and believe their children. They discuss and practice with their children possible ways to respond. If the problem persists, parents can work calmly with the school and the police. Imagine a community like that. Believe in it. Work for it. And by all of us working together, we can make Montezville that kind of community. Thank you.